Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of a debrief talking about Rachael Kirkconnell's podcast with Call Her Daddy. Let's get into it. Her friends signed her up for The Bachelor because she was not in a relationship. They thought she'd be good on the show. She didn't really want to do it. She was just like, all right, I'll go along with the process. She never expected to get an engagement because she never thought she'd make it that far. Her and Matt had a conversation in Fantasy Suites, so she knew that he was not going to propose. But she wasn't sure if the producers were going to force him to or if something was going to happen, so she would have said yes at the time. Chris Harrison even went to her room and was trying to get her all paranoid. Then it was just such a difficult time in the world because of BLM and Rachel's controversy that Matt broke up with Rachael. Rachael says that she never held it against Matt because she knows that he felt at the time it was the right thing to do. But she also felt like Matt broke up with her because of what everyone else was telling him to do. So when things settled down and they ended up being in the same place, they gave it another shot, but they took things slow. And Matt actually was talking to a couple other girls, and Rachael found out through Reality Steve. So there was some trust issues going on because it's not like he was lying, but he was withholding things at the time. Things got really messy, and eventually they decided they were really going to take it seriously. And she felt insecure for the first year in her relationship, but things were getting better. Everything was fresh, and he really never cheated, and she truly believes that to this day. But there was just this power imbalance in their relationship because he was always the star, and she was fine with him being the star. Sometimes she would have to, beg him to do things. She was always making excuses for him because she put him on this pedestal. It was kind of crazy because just a few days before the breakup, he was telling her how amazing she was and how she's everything that he's ever wanted. And then things changed drastically really quickly. Just this one fight over Rachael picking a bad food restaurant, which Matt wasn't even mad about. Rachael was the one who felt like she was disappointing him. And Matt was just so mad that she was so concerned and insecure in the relationship. She really was, doing more than she was receiving. And it was not a 50-50 relationship. I think that Matt had to post this online for Rachael to realize that this is a betrayal. She needs to move on and she needs to let this man go because she was infatuated from the start, what she said, and she was in love. And it was just a really emotional conversation. And I felt like Alex Cooper did a really good job guiding Rachael. And the reason Rachael wanted to do this podcast is because she felt like it was a bigger story than just an Instagram post and that there was a lot of people invested and she wanted the closure. And Matt was calling her a lot, checking in on her. The first time he called her was 4 to 5 days after the breakup post. And she's like, don't worry about me. You don't need to call to check in on me. And she can't imagine her life without him, but she knows that it's what's for the best now, and she can't ever go back.